What's good, guys? The Novice. I'm going to talk about a movie I just watched, guys, called Uncut Gems. I just watched it on Netflix just now. I call myself the Novice for a reason. For me, I always try to judge things from my perspective and admit to that up front because I'm not like a professional reviewer. I admit that I don't know like, oh, this is definitely A, B, this is a 5 star whatever movie. But when it comes to this movie, I don't even know exactly how to put like a certain judge metric on it because here's the things that come to mind watching this movie. When I watched this, by the way, Uncut Gems, for people who don't know, I'm gonna give as much non-spoiler as possible. Uncut Gems is basically like it's a week in the life of a jeweler, a New York jeweler, um, starring Adam Sandler, has some other faces in it, like Keith Stanfield. Um, you'll recognize some other people when you see them, and it's directed by Benny Safdie and sugar, I forget his name, Joe Safdie, the dudes who also I watched a movie of theirs the other night as well, Good Time, starring Robert Pattinson. And what I noticed it when I was watching Good Time, but even more so watching this. What I like about this movie, and the first thing that sticks out, it feels like a drama or kind of movie that would come out in the 80s and 90s. I don't know what it is, but looking visually, like at the the way the camera looks and the color, for some reason, even the soundtrack, it may be more obvious, but it gives me that vibe of TV movies that I'd watch with my dad during the weekdays, in the evenings, whichever on holiday from school, just any random. This is before like the age of modern movies like fantasy stuff, superhero stuff. That's just the vibe this movie gives me, and that's the vibe I got watching one of the other movies, Benny and Joe Safdie, called Good Time as well. Guys, go watch that movie too. I may do a review of that, but here's the difference. I'm doing a review of this now. The big thing that appealed to me watching this movie is that this movie feels like real life. I was struggling to know how to describe it in very simply, and that's what came to me. Real life. I was thinking this watching this movie. The colors look saturated, but not over exaggerated. If that makes sense. Um, it feels subdued. Like it feels like mundane for the most part. Like people aren't getting into over exaggerated situations in terms of storytelling for me, but it isn't so subdued that it feels almost like dead. That's something movies can run the danger of doing too. I'm talking as far as dialogue and the storytelling, and then on top of that, also there are certain situations within the storytelling where things can escalate, but they remind you in real life, even when people get aggressive, they don't get as aggressive as they they may want to initially. They feel that spark and they jab one two. I'm talking like physically and verbally, but it's not as exaggerated as film will make it. I call it the One Tree Hill scrap. There's a show back in the day I used to watch called One Tree Hill. What one dude will push one dude will push another dude immediately. Ah, pa pa fight. But the weird thing is, if you know real life, getting punched in the face hurts. Avoid fights, people, especially kids. If you're watching, public service announcement. Also, on top of fights, when you're having a fight in the street, like grown men or women, something bad's gonna happen as far as law enforcement. If you live in a decent neighborhood, at least. Um, so people avoid fights unless they're not right in their heads, or they're just one of those people that are looking for trouble. In this movie, there were several moments where I still felt tense, but it felt realistic. It felt like, oh, this is real life screw ups that happen to this one character and are revolving around this one character played by Adam Sandler. I have to give it up to Adam Sandler. I've never. This is this people comedians need stuff like this. Like Jonah Hill. There's a Netflix series called Maniac that he has with Emma Stone. He's great in that. He plays like a mentally ill person, or a person with like mental health issues. You got the Truman Show. The Truman Show is one of my greats. Jim Carrey, he is that dude as an actor. And then even Eddie Murphy here and there, you'll see him do like dramatic stuff. But I've never seen Adam Sandler do. It makes me sad because what did it take for him to do this movie, and why, as far as I know, hasn't he done stuff like this before? Even what's that movie, Top Five with Chris Rock? Even that movie tries to be a drama first. I've never seen that with Adam Sandler. I get the feeling that comedian actors, like when they do serious dramas, if you find the right one, they're just perfect. And you need more of that. I get the feeling. Also, as a YouTuber that said this, I'm gonna follow his lead. When he says this, twin directors are the way. I agree. Um, yeah, I've heard YouTubers saying that based on this movie. Yes, Benny Safdie and I think his name's Joel Safdie. I'm gonna follow whatever you guys do. They also co-wrote the movie with a guy. I think his name is Ronald or something like that. Donald. I forget his last name. Um, but yeah, they co-wrote. All three of them wrote this movie together. I'm glad they did, man. It's just I'm invested in this as a drama, as a thriller. You can argue too, and apart from that, it's just too hard to analyze this movie because I don't even know, like I said at the top of the review, how exactly to put it in a box and say, okay, this is how I judge it. Usually, I just give my perspective in the review, even if it's slightly like jumbled up and not making too much sense. But with this one, it's an experience. That's that's how I say it's an experience. It feels like real. That's why I say it feels like real life. It feels you have to experience it because it will remind you, at least with me, of things in life, fights, arguments, drama, family drama, um, relationship drama. But it felt like, oh, okay, this stuff would happen. Like it didn't feel too exaggerated, but it didn't feel so. Like I said, subdued and dry, too like over the top dry. It didn't feel over the top either way, and I love that about this movie. So, guys, definitely thumbs up for me. I'm recommending two thumbs up. I'm recommending you guys all see this. Um, if you haven't, and tell me what you think down below. Um, also, just I don't want to spoil it. I'll say, yeah, this movie also. I don't want to spoil it. Okay, yeah, keep watching till the end, and then tell me if you haven't seen this. Keep watching the Uncut Gems. Keep watching until the very end, and tell me what you think when it's over, like your immediate reaction as soon as the movie ended. Please, if you've already seen it, tell me what was your immediate reaction down below because it hit me. Yeah, without I don't want to spoil it, but it hit me some type of way. I was like, oh, but it wasn't like a it was like, oh, again, real life. You're shocked by things. Maybe that's what they're trying to like convey. These directors, I'm gonna look out for them definitely. Safdie brothers. Maybe that's what they're trying to convey, like to be shocked by something, but to not be cartoonishly shocked by something. Some people are. Some people are truly like affected emotionally. Me, I can be affected by something emotionally, but I don't show it, and people confuse that for no, he doesn't care or no, and I confuse that in myself for maybe I don't care as much as I think. But no, that's just how that's me being organic with my reaction. And that's how this movie made me feel. It was organic. It felt natural to me, but at the same time, something that I had to really invest myself in, because this world, the film isn't the real world. That's how I feel about this movie. Again, please tell me your thoughts down below, whether you've seen it or not. If you like any of my videos, please check out. I'll put links in the video of some others that you can check out. It's your first time on this channel, and I see you. Have a good one.